You ever buy a home thinking you've found your slice of suburban peace, only to discover it's actually a front row seat to the HOA Hunger Games? That's exactly what happened when I moved into the quiet, tree-lined neighborhood of Maple Hollow. And at the center of the chaos, my neighbor, Eleanor Buckley. But around here, everyone called her HOA Queen Karen. Eleanor wasn't just a stickler for rules. She was the rules. As treasurer of the Maple Hollow HOA, she ruled with a passive-aggressive iron fist. First offense, a laminated notice under my windshield because my trash bin was out for 3 extra hours. Strike 2, a warning letter about my Halloween decorations being up on November 1st. I should have known then that peace was never part of her agenda. Now, I'm not one to stir the pot. I trimmed my lawn to HOA code, took down lights on time, even joined the neighborhood potluck. But I also happened to buy the lot that bordered a wooded easement the HOA had been trying to acquire for years to expand a community trail. And guess who lost the board vote because I refused to sell my slice of land? Yep, Eleanor. That's when things got ugly. At first, it was subtle. A weird smell near the fence. Some suspiciously soggy soil in my yard. I figured maybe it was runoff from overwatering. But the smell got worse. And the soggy patch? It started looking like a mini swamp. I brought it up politely one afternoon as Eleanor strutted by during her daily HOA patrol. Hey, Eleanor. There seems to be some kind of leak by the fence. Any idea if there's a plumbing issue on your side? She didn't even break stride. Just sniffed, glared at my lawn, and said, "My property is pristine. You should check your own drainage." I tried reaching out to the HOA. Their response, a pamphlet on overwatering and a warning letter for noxious odors coming from my yard. Eleanor's fingerprints were all over it. So, I got smart. I installed 2 motion-sensing cameras. One for my front porch, one hidden near the back fence. And wouldn't you know it, the footage showed Eleanor sneaking out at night with a hose hooked up to what looked like a portable sump pump discharging raw sewage directly onto my property. Not even trying to hide it. Just marching out in her robe like a sewage Santa Claus, gifting me with the worst-smelling backyard in town. Weeks passed. My garden died. My patio was unusable. I kept reporting it. The HOA kept blaming me. Then one morning, I noticed a depression forming near the fence line, like the ground had just sunk. Over the next week, it deepened. A perfect, eerie circle. And then, like something out of a disaster movie, the earth gave way. A sinkhole opened up, 10 feet across, swallowing part of my fence. But here's the twist, it didn't stop at my yard. Nope. That hole reached straight under Eleanor's house. Her fancy sunroom? Gone. Her flower beds? Bye. The woman stood outside in silk pajamas, screaming bloody murder. Emergency services rolled in. The HOA panicked. And Eleanor? She pointed at me and shouted, "She did this. Arrest her." I wish I were joking. Days later, I got a letter from the HOA's attorney blaming me for everything: improper drainage, negligent landscaping, and my favorite, geological sabotage. They demanded I pay for Eleanor's home repairs, stabilization of the land, and damages to the community. Nearly $500,000. That's when I called Sarah Maddox, a property attorney with a spine of steel and zero tolerance for HOA bull. I handed her my binder full of timestamps, photos, complaint letters, and of course the crown jewel, video footage of Eleanor dumping sewage across the property line. Sarah smiled like a shark who smelled blood. She countersued the HOA and Eleanor for negligence, harassment, and property damage. During mediation, she played clips of Eleanor sneaking out at night, hose in hand, looking like a villain in a low-budget spy movie. The room was dead silent. The judge asked the HOA attorney if he still wanted to proceed. He turned pale. Within a week, they settled. Here's what I got: full restoration of my backyard, paid legal fees, a formal apology, and enough in damages to replace everything Eleanor destroyed and then some. Her insurance company refused to cover the damage to her home, citing willful negligence. She sold the house at a loss and moved out. The HOA board cleaned house, new leadership, new rules, and finally, accountability. As for me, My garden's thriving. The air smells like flowers again. And my backyard is once again a peaceful escape. But I kept the cameras. Because if another HOA Karen decides to go full villain, this time, I'll be ready. If you've ever had a nightmare neighbor or fought back against a crooked HOA, drop your story in the comments. I want to hear how you handled it. And so does everyone else who's still fighting the good fight.